I've got an inmate on here. How many years you doing, Toby?
I've got a life sentence. I'm doing life plus 50 years. I'm from Iowa. I'm out here in Oregon on the interstate compact, but I've been down since 97. I got
Okay.
released on July 26, 1997.
What about, tell them what kind of recipes you got. What's the best thing you can cook in there?
I just usually whip up like cheesecakes. That's my go-to. That's my go-to special.
And then how do
My
you do
neighbor
it?
right here, my neighbor right here said he ain't had any. I just get different items off of canteen, like cookies to make the bottom crust, and then I just use the milk, sugar. It just varies. Sometimes I go on I use like a raspberry or something flavor to give it like a little sweet flavor. Sometimes I do chocolate stuff like
Hang on, I gotta say hi to Carlo. Hey, Carlos, I'm talking to a inmate, Toby, finding out a recipe. Go ahead.
and then I just use milk or creamer, cream cheese, and I use them cookies as a crust. Just get them moist, form a crust on the bottom. Whip up that milk and the cream cheese and sugar. Give it that sweet. Sometimes I throw in the raspberry, like crystallites or whatever little juices are
Hang
found
on
at
just a
that
minute.
time.
Sharon's in here, and Carlos just said respect to all the men locked down. He's done some time himself, Toby, so he'll understand what you're talking about.
All right. What's up, Sharon?
Jeff Spicoli just came in. I'm talking to an inmate. He's given me a recipe for cheesecake.
I just break stuff up on the top. Sometimes we melt down little Hershey bars or chop up Butterfingers and put it on the top to give it that extra. It's pretty good, but with so-called inflation, it definitely hits canteen here. They raising the prices on everything consistently, so it's like crazy expensive. So kind of fell back on doing that stuff now because it's like $13, $14 just to make a little thing. You know what I'm saying? And then and the wages. So it's just economically, it's like it's got to be a celebration for a Super Bowl or something like that. Somebody's birthday, something like that. I used to do it religiously, like on the weekly, once a week or something like that. But shit is so expensive out here. It's like, man, $50 to have a coffee habit for the month. You know what I'm saying? So you try to throw in, a tube of toothpaste and this and that. It's hard. Cheesecake kind of gets sacrificed.
So how many years have you done already?
I have 28 in July.
And how many different prisons you been in? Name them.
Yeah, I can't name them all. I've been to about 20 some. My state, Iowa, they got unhappy with me back around 2009 or something. They never did like me. I've always been a problem child there. And as long as I was just getting into it with other inmates, they didn't care. They just throw me in the hole for a year or two or however long they was doing it at that time. But once we started busting CO's heads and filing lawsuits and boycotting and doing all that stuff, they made damn sure I went somewhere that was going to be extremely different. So they sent me to Florida first. And then I went, I was messing up there. I've been to Atlanta, Lewisburg, Pennsylvania when it was the lockdown program in the feds. I've been out here. I hit all these weird prisons out here in Oregon. I'm at Two Rivers right now. I can't name them because after we jumped on some COs and UST Coleman back in like 2011 or something. I don't even remember. It's been a minute, but I did about 40 months in the hole, and they stayed in the shoe, and they bounced me around. I was everywhere, Mississippi, a few different penitentiaries.
Alabama?
Yeah, Talladega. They were just bouncing me around from one shoe to the other, keep me there for a couple of weeks, because they got to fly your property everywhere. None of your mail can catch you, so they had me on some stuff where I was never touching my property, never receiving mail for months and months at a time. They just moved you every couple of weeks. That's how they feel about you beating up a couple of COs or whatever, So then I just was going on like hunger strikes and writing a lot of complaints. And the feds ended up contacting my state and said, man, come get this dude. We got enough problems. Our system's already fucked up. We can't handle this retard. So they came and got me. And then they just bounced me around in the shoe back in Iowa until they sent me out here.
Carlos just said diesel therapy.
Yeah, diesel therapy, the shuffle, shoe shuffle, whatever term. We always coin a different phrase. And what is cool, I mean, what is kind of comforting about it when you're on that is you always cross paths with individuals doing the same things, and it's always the same kinds. It's always the same caliber of convict. It's the jailhouse lawyer, or it's the dude that busts the SEAL's head, or whatever. Like anybody with any type of influence that negatively impacts the profitability or the domination of the institutions or whatever, we're always the ones getting removed and bounced around in discomfort, losing your property and all that. When I left Iowa to Florida, I lost all of my property, When we was grieving and filing a lawsuit, they went on my electronic database and deleted all of my grievances and said I'd never filed a grievance in the 12 years or whatever I've been there. And I'd filed 100 grievances. But they was just doing that to make it impossible for me to file a federal lawsuit. We had to do the state thing, and they knew that they had that home court advantage right there in their backyard. So what I'm saying is, like, anytime that you litigate or you crack these motherfuckers' heads, or you're a problem to the institution, and you're trying to encourage people to stop spending money, they sending you somewhere else. But if you just fighting with other inmates, or you preying on other inmates, you hustling other inmates, they don't care. Do that. But as soon as you unite and you wake people up and show them who the true enemy is, man, they get rid of you quick and they'll never stop. It's a challenge. Then you say, okay.
Carlos is saying they will try and break your will 100%.
100%. So you just have to match that. You just have to say, me against, and that's what it does though. You develop that me against the world mentality, and it kind of makes you, like, it hardens your heart, and it kind of makes it so it's hard for you to develop any type of love or any type of friendships or anything, because you're so busy bucking and fighting. And
hey, I'm just talking to people as they come in. Hi, Forever Young. I'm talking to an inmate. Tell them how important it is to have somebody on the outside helping you out. So I think more people need to be aware of that.
Well, because I'm not hating on my fellow incarcerated individuals and stuff, but everybody got their own agenda. So when you in here, basically it's a dog-eat-dog world, and it's hard to form any type of genuine bonds in here. So emotionally, from an emotional point of view, it's empty, and you're going to be hella alone, no matter how tight you get with somebody. You can never trust them. And you don't want to ever tell anybody anything that you don't want to be used against you, whether out, on the grapevine with the gossip hounds, or, in a court of law, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you always keep the secrets. You can't ever really reveal anything that's true to your heart or whatever. So when you have someone on the streets, you can totally open up and confide in them, and you can.
Carlos just said a simple letter can mean so much in those conditions.
Yeah. And that's why I've been on pen pal sites for the whole time, whatever they was, we write a prisoner back in the day when it was booming, and like how I met you on pen pal buzz, it's just I always jump around, because this is the only way that you ever have any type of genuine connection where you can just be honest. And that's why I always tell people in all my ads when I'm reaching out to the real world, like, man, I'm not worried or concerned about any appearances or religion, race, sexuality, none of that. It's all I'm looking for is just something real. Let me be myself and you be yourself. You know what I'm saying? I love to listen. I just want to be connected to the real world and have something true and real with someone where we can be ourselves, That's it, As long as you can believe in the possibility of a friendship, that's all I ever asked for. And then, of course, a couple dollars here and there, obviously, because what you going to do? You're going to work all month for $40? Can't even support a coffee. A jar of coffee is $15. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you buy a soup's 50 cents. And a soup ain't nothing but, you know, a little snack. So, I mean, you need $50 at least a month just to survive. I mean, a tube of toothpaste, $6, you know, bar of soap, $2. They charging the most to the poorest, and then they tax in you already know how they
I know.
charge you.
They make it hard on the people giving, too. They don't make it easy on us.
It's complicated. They always want your credit card, and then you got to run through all these loops and tricks just to deposit $20, and then they want $5 for putting $20 on your account, and then here a $5 item they're charging you $10 because it's a monopoly. They run in a racket. They're the true criminals. You know, they're the ones taxing.
Oh, tell them how that is where you're at, where you just get certain breaks to come out. You're just not out all the time.
Yeah, so we come out one day 1:30 till 3:30, and then the next day it's 9 till 10:30 in the morning. But then at night, you know, you do get the 6 till 9:45. That's the long one. But anytime anything happens, like I was telling you when I first called yesterday, they had a fight or whatever on one of the units somewhere else. Definitely not on the unit I'm on. And we was locked down from 2 until 3. So that's a whole hour just gone. They just took it. Go back to your cell. They call it a one-way line. Boom, done for that. That's it. They just disappeared. So all your phone calls, all that gone. Shower, none of that. They don't care. You're done. Because why? A fight happened on a different unit between people we don't even know. And then last night when we came out at 6, I jumped in the shower right away. Boom, they had another fight on a different unit. There's like 15 units in this institution. We was locked down from 6 until 9 something. For what? What? We don't even know what's going on. We don't have no idea. We ain't doing anything wrong, but that's what they do over here. And them dudes, they go into this place, gonna make sure they lose their property. Different items are gonna come up missing. They're gonna confiscate this, that, and the other. Pour out this, lose that, mix your shit up with your selling and all that stuff. It's a never-ending thing where all they do, their culture is toxic. All they do is just inflict damage on us. You know what I'm saying? To perpetuate that resentment and that spite. And it prevents that positive. You know, you have a hard, because they don't have no programs at this institution. This is like a step-down institution. I came here from the IMU, the segregation program. And then they send you here, and it's supposed to be a step-down, but you give them a year without messing up, they'll help you get up out of here. But the whole time you're here, they just gonna be retaliating on you. They don't even know me. And I'm always losing day rooms. How many times have I not been able to call or send a message or whatever?
I can't count. A bunch.
And I never did anything wrong. It's never been anything I did. I ain't even had a fill-in. And that's all they do. They live to punish people here. I ain't did nothing. They don't know my name or nothing. I stay out of their way. But that's all they do is they just jack our time. It's hard. It's impossible to get out of here. You got a video visit scheduled. I just don't show up. You don't even know what happened. I just don't show up. I'm supposed to call. I can't call because something happened on a different unit or something. I didn't do anything.
Tell them about the call center you worked at.
I did do that. I was in the call center for 6 years. They was paying us like 40 cents every time I got a customer to talk to the salesman. So you had to get 250 people. I cold call people. I have the contact info, but it would be wrong a lot of the time. Sometimes it'd be on point, but I would literally have to be talking and doing my best.
MRE just came in here and said, God bless, free them guys.
Yeah, because I've been down 28 years. You know, I committed my crime when I was 21. And they still judge me like I'll be 50 years old November. I would just turn 21, you know, and they still act like I am that individual. Like nothing about me has changed. Even though I'm older, my hair's falling out, I'm wearing glasses, I can't move like I used to. I'm still with it. I'm still agile and athletic, but nothing like when I was 10. I don't even get mad no more. I ain't been in a fight 14 years since we whooped some COs that was antagonizing us, you know. I ain't been in no problems. I ain't did nothing wrong for 13, 14, 15 years. The little IMU shit I went to, that was all confidential information. They didn't have nothing on me. It was just some inmates lying on me. But I'm saying, like, they judged me for that mistake forever. They forever brand me and froze me in time. And they just gonna let me rot away, depriving the world of my talents and of my gifts and any of my potential that I possibly could have been. The world will never get to see it because it'll all be lost behind these walls. You know, for a mistake I made when I was 21, and I just got out of prison. You know, I went into prison when I was 17 with misdemeanors, and I got exposed to a violent penitentiary environment at that time. Back in the 90s, it was hella violent, and they just basically the convicts indoctrinated me with the. I had a chance to become I could have become a mechanic or a carpenter or anything. The system could have blessed me with any type of education or vocational skills. They just let me get turned into a killer. I went in as a misdemeanor. I got out. I was out 80 days, and I killed somebody when I was in this grocery store shoplifting cartons of cigarettes. He caught me, and I stabbed him because that was the way I handled my problems. That's what I learned in prison. Because in prison, if you don't have that killer mentality, it's that dog eat dog, killer be killed shit. They'll prey on you. So that's what happened. I learned all that stuff instead of learning how to fix a motor or paint or draw or something. I learned how to handle my confrontations with violence. Because if you didn't, you was a punk. You know.
You got to be a predator or the prey, right?
That's how it always is, especially when you're young. What I say, I was 17. I just turned 18. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any money. So I was in need of everything. And instead of getting positive guidance, people was testing me to see what they could get out of me. Could they run me on a mission, have me do their dirty work? Could they fuck me? Whatever it is, they was definitely testing me on multiple levels. And I always knew the one thing that would solve all them problems is if I used violence to the best of my ability. And then I got out of prison, and meth was hella bad in Des Moines at that time. This is way back there, 96, 97, right? What I say? I got out in 97. I got out in May 6, 97. And I caught a murder, 2 attempted murders in July of 97. I got out of prison. I never had a car. Never had a place to stay. I never had a job. All I had was a meth habit. I was stealing shit because I didn't know anything. I didn't know how to do anything. I didn't know it. I didn't have anything. I didn't know how to do anything. I just did 4 years in prison. 3.5 of those years I was in segregation because I was always fighting because I was small, white kid, you know. I'm like 170 right now. I'm hella cut up, but I mean, at 17 I was like 160, and I didn't have a whisker on anywhere on my body. I didn't have facial hair or nothing. So dudes was like, thought I was fresh meat. I was fighting for my life.
The people are saying they need to set these guys up with jobs and some help.
Definitely. When you go in there, they should definitely at least, you need to have like a mentor or some kind of positive role model show you how important each choice that you make is and how every decision impacts the rest of your life. Because when you're young, you don't understand it. You just don't want to do something, and you just don't do it. And it's just and you have those bad habits, and it sucks. But that doesn't mean that you're unchangeable, especially at 18 years old. You know, you should be shown how to do things and be given the education of why and how to manage money, save money, make money, save money, manage money, spend on needs, before wants, all that stuff, right? Instead, they just send you to prison and then they just say, whatever, who cares? It's your fault. Well, I need help, man. I thought I was sent to prison to be helped. It's a Department of Corrections, but they ain't doing no correcting. They just let you fail. Well, and if you succeed, you definitely did it on your own. Even right now, at soon to be 50, every successful thing that I do is all from me. These people ain't helping me. They're not recommending anything for me. If they can't pimp me on a a private prison job like that call center stuff, what I say, I had to get 250 people in the public to talk to a licensed specialist salesman on the other side of closer, and I get 40 cents per time. And if I got 250 people over there to talk to the salesman and they stayed on the phone with them for more than 1 minute, I would get 40 cents. So if I could get 250 people throughout the month, I will get $110. And these companies are getting rich, crazy rich off of us. So I make the little $110, and then I just blow it on a pair of defunct, messed up shoes, that I run in. I was a runner forever. I run in shoes for like 5 months. I buy $100 pair of shoes. I worked all month to get a pair of shoes, and I run in them for 5 months, and I throw it in, and then they're no good because they're lopsided, and they was uneven, and all that other stuff.
And you still work out. I can promise you he works out, people, all the time, every day.
It's for sanity, because I don't have any. That's it. I live to make these phone calls to you, and then I do my little workouts, and I buy crosswords and Sudokus, and I'm out here. These motherfuckers threw me away. Iowa don't want me. They sent me all the way out here. Basically human trafficking.
He's in Oregon. He's in Oregon now, MRE, but he's been in a bunch of prisons. He just listed them before you come in here.
I'm a victim of human trafficking. They talk about smuggling and all that, human smuggling and rings and all that. That's the DOC. If you give them a headache, that's what they do. They throw you away somewhere else, and then they don't put me on you can't find me. You go to Oregon DOC, you can't find me.
You cannot find him at all. He's not listed. His
turn
mother
me into a ghost.
And his mother tried to call and tell him that his dad had died, and she couldn't even get through to him. That's how ridiculous
it is.
November
30th.
Tell him about that.
He called up her.
Tell him about that.
She called up here. Yep, my dad died November 30th. She called up here, and these people said, we don't acknowledge.
Hey, Rolex. Go ahead.
They said we don't acknowledge his existence. He's not an Oregon inmate. You have to. What they say, you got to talk to the people in Salem or your people in Iowa, because we don't take claim or ownership of this dude. Then I filed a grievance. If you remember, I sent you the grievance, and they said it was a non-grievable thing, and that my people on the
I think
street
it's terrible. They didn't even tell him that his dad died. I can't believe shit goes on.
I didn't even know. I called my mom like 3 weeks later or some shit. And she was like, damn, what's took you so long? Well, these people only let me come out here and there. They've been jacking us out of our day room times because of a fight somewhere else and all that weird shit they do here. So it took me like 3 weeks between calls with my mom. I called her and she's like, your dad died November 30th and this and that. And I was like, well, damn. Well, thanks for telling me. And that's when I gave her your phone number. Like, yo, if there's she told me, I called out here. They was playing games. They told me I had to talk to the people in Iowa and all this run around bullshit. So I didn't even know. My dad was already in the ground. They'd had the funeral and all that before I knew. I didn't know nothing. They didn't tell me shit. I don't have my mom. My mom's 70 plus. She ain't on no tablet. I can't email her or nothing like that. Because it's so complicated and ridiculous to get your name registered on this getting out bullshit.
It is. But his mother knows she can call me, and I can text him on that getting out link if she needs.
That's what I did. I was like, damn, since she called up here, they don't know me, my counselor don't exist, and all these games. So I gave her your phone number. Like, yo, if there's ever an emergency, just call her, because she can message me right away. I pretty much call her every day, so that'll be I gotta create.
Hey, Tammy. Tammy's in here now. Toby, say hi to Tammy.
What's up, Tammy? Miss me? I just gave a 20-minute narrative of my life.
You didn't tell some of the good stuff though. You left out, but I don't blame you.
Like what?
Like, never mind. Never mind. About the more they weigh, the more they pay, and the scams you prisoners play on the women and pen pal you and stuff.
At first, when you're young and you desperate, you gotta, you just trying to survive. You scratching and crawling for anything from anyone. It's first of all, when you come to prison, you ain't somebody that's been in successful relationships, so you don't value love or loyalty, or you don't really understand what it's like to really have a genuine thing with someone. You've been out there being climbing. You've been a criminal for your whole life, so you don't know. You ain't been an employee. You don't understand any of that good stuff. So you just doing whatever you can to get whatever you can because you don't have anything or anyone. You're all alone, and you don't have anything. And those are the things that we tell ourselves. So you do things, and you reaching out, and you're doing some. You at that time, at the beginning, you definitely doing your hustling stuff to get the things that you want because you know that you ain't gonna get it any other way, and you feel like we tell each other that the world owes us because the people in the streets, the civilians that's paying taxes and the voters, they believe that we deserve this. And the COs are lying on the write-ups. We doing 18 months in the hole with nothing. The CO ain't giving you a trade because you made him mad, and you just mad at the people out there that ain't helping you. You're just like, damn, my neighbors, they pay taxes to support this. They want me to have this. So you start developing me against the world thing because you believe everybody in the streets don't think you got it bad enough and that you deserve all of this stuff. And it's like, all right, well then I got to do I'm going to get whatever I can from whoever I can because they think I belong here. They think I deserve worse. So those are the things that you are telling yourself and all of your friends are telling you. So when you're on the door doing your burpees before shower and segregation and stuff, you just develop this certain perspective of seeing things, and that's how you do it. And you just reaching out to anyone. You playing all the games in the world to have a sandwich and a soup and some coffee and stuff, because without that, you ain't gonna have nothing. So you develop you develop your little games and stuff to have what you need. Because the system sure in the fuck ain't gonna help you get it. They gonna slave you. They gonna pimp you. They gonna make you work your ass off for $40.
Oh, tell them what you told me about them putting gangs that don't like each other together just so they can fight and lock everybody down.
They doing that right now. That's what these last few fights have been about. They send in certain groups out here in Oregon. They used to they did this everywhere I've ever been, but I'll just talk about this.
Well, we only got 2 minutes left.
That's these dudes. This one group of dudes, 6 of them jumped on one dude in one unit, and 2 dudes jumped on another dude in a different unit at the same time. They locked all them dudes up for a while. They sent one dude to Minnesota, one dude to Colorado, and then they slowly was releasing the aggressors from the first situation to a unit, 1 or 2 at a time, to a unit with 8 or 9 of the dudes, that rival group that they previously jumped on. They was getting out there, and 3 of them dudes was jumping on these dudes like it's some north-south.
1 minute remaining.
Hispanic
To 1 minute. Did you hear her?
They just they deliberately set rival gangs up with each other to fight so they can pepper spray them, and the STM can say, look at this gang problem. Look at this. Even though they've got 15 different units and 8 different prisons they could send people to, they deliberately put them on the units so they can fight, so they can generate that revenue and say, look at this. We got a security problem. Look at all this gang problem. But they doing it. They're the ones doing it. They're deliberately orchestrating that stuff for a fact. I'm watching it. It's been happening. For the last year, I've watched it. All Hispanic on Hispanic stuff. I've been watching it. That's this place doing it. On purpose. For sure.
Bye. Everybody's telling you goodbye.
All right.
Because we only got
Is that our call?
Yeah, we got 30 seconds left. Don't call me back. Call me back this afternoon.
All right. I'll do that. All right. Well, gratitude for giving me opportunity to give my voice.
Okay, people, that was it. So people say I'm stupid for helping out. prisoners, I don't think I'm stupid at all. I have met some, he's real intelligent. He's like an attorney. That's why they don't like him, because he files grievances for prisoners and stuff. I've met the ones I was married to weren't that great, the ones that were in prison. I was married to them, but since I've been meeting them, I've met several. There's several people that don't have anybody on the outside. No mother, no dad, no brothers, no sisters, no nothing. They would at least need to have a phone call at Christmas or something. I'm glad I got into this, because I've talked to several, and they all seem redeemable to me. Toby's not getting out. Can you imagine getting arrested at 20 and having a life sentence and never getting out? And his mother couldn't even get a hold of him to tell him his dad died? Can you imagine? That's why I'm against the death penalty. These people haven't got no business putting anybody to death. They barely can arrest people, right? But anyway, I'm getting off of here. I will see you guys later, and I might have Toby back on again, and you can ask him questions. But I'm going to do a Tuesday with Terry time, and I'm going to address this pull stick sack whore fiasco where they both bowed to each other. I'm going to be addressing that. I'm going to be addressing some of the bottom feeders bullshit that's been going on. And MRE, I appreciate you calling me out in your chat and making people aware of this prisoner problem, because it's horrible. And I can only do so many. I can't, I try to get Sharon to call a couple or people I know so they got some contact with the outside. Hey, Rolex, good to see you. Bye, everybody. Okay, Sharon, come out here.